Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Kurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 18th of February. 4 soldiers, 2 terrorists killed in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. India asks the World Court to order release of man sentenced to death in Pakistan. And Pakistan Muslim League-Nawaz chief Shehbaz Sharif indicted in housing scam case. And now for all the details. Security forces neutralized 2 terrorists belonging to Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Muhammad terror group in an encounter in Pulwama district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Monday. At least 4 Indian soldiers, including an army major, also lost their lives in the gun battle. Search operations were still underway in the area till the last reports came in.
At least 4 Indian soldiers and 2 terrorists belonging to Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Muhammad terror group were killed in a gun battle in Pulwama district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. The encounter broke out after security forces had cordoned off a village in Pulwama district upon specific information about presence of terrorists in a house. Search operations were still underway till the last reports came in, as there were reports of more terrorists being trapped in the area. The encounter came less than a week after at least 40 personnel of India's paramilitary Central Reserve Police Force were killed in a deadly attack in Pulwama district after a suicide bomber rammed a car into a bus carrying them. The attack was claimed by Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Muhammad terror group. India has long accused neighbouring Pakistan for arming and infiltrating terrorists across the border to mount attacks on Indian soil. Pakistan denies the charges.
India on Monday asked the International Court of Justice to order the release of Kulbhushan Jadhav, an Indian national sentenced to death in Pakistan, saying Islamabad had failed to allow him diplomatic assistance before his conviction as required by an international treaty. The World Court had ordered Pakistan to delay Jadhav's execution in May last year on India's appeal pending the final verdict by it.
India on Monday presented its arguments in the International Court of Justice or ICJ as the top UN court commenced a public hearing in the case of Kulbhushan Jadhav, an Indian national on death row in Pakistan on charges of espionage. During the first day of the hearing, India based its case on 2 broad issues: breach of Vienna Convention on Consular Access and the process of resolution. The hearing comes amid heightened tensions between India and Pakistan in the wake of a terror attack which killed at least 40 security personnel in India's Jammu and Kashmir and was claimed by a Pakistan-based terror group.
Jadhav's continued custody without consular access should be declared unlawful. And amongst other things, considering the trauma to which he has been subjected for over 3 years, it would be in the interest of justice, of making human rights a reality, to direct his release.
Pakistan claims Jadhav was arrested in March 2016 from southwestern Balochistan province. He was tried before a Pakistani military court and sentenced to death on charges of espionage. The ICJ had ordered Pakistan to delay Jadhav's execution in May last year on India's appeal pending the final verdict by it. India has repeatedly rejected Pakistan's account of Jadhav's activities, and it also maintains that he had been kidnapped in Iran, where he had business interests.
And in news from Pakistan, an accountability court on Monday indicted Pakistan Muslim League-Nawaz president Shehbaz Sharif and 9 others in Ashiana housing scam case. This comes after the leader of opposition in the National Assembly was granted bail by Lahore High Court last week in the case.
An accountability court on Monday indicated Pakistan Muslim League-Nawaz or PMLN chief Shehbaz Sharif and 9 other accused in Ashiana housing scam case. The leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, has been in custody since October 5th last year for interrogation in connection with the low-cost housing scam. This comes after Lahore High Court had granted him bail last week in the housing scheme and Ramzan sugar mill scam case. The National Accountability Bureau, or NAB, had accused that Sharif in 2014, when he was Chief Minister of Punjab Province, illegally cancelled a contract with a construction company and sought to award it to another company for a bribe. Sharif served as the Chief Minister of the politically crucial Punjab Province from 2013 to 2018. He became PMLN president after his elder brother, former Premier Nawaz Sharif, was barred from holding the top party position and public post over corruption allegations.
More news from Pakistan. Saudi Crown Prince on Sunday signed $20 billion in agreements with Pakistan, which is cash-strapped. On giving the far higher investment than expected, the Crown Prince said the figure represents only the start of an economic tie-up that would bring the historic Muslim allies even closer.
Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has confirmed Saudi Arabia had signed investment agreements worth $20 billion during his high-profile visit to Pakistan. On giving the far higher Pakistan investment than expected, the Crown Prince, who arrived in Pakistan on Sunday, said the figure represents only the start of an economic tie-up that would bring the historic Muslim allies even closer. Cash-strapped and in need of friends, Pakistan welcomed the Crown Prince with open arms.
Today we signed MOUs. We believe the amount of that kind of investment is $20 billion. It's big for phase one. And definitely it's gonna grow every month, every year.
Saudi Arabia has been a friend when Pakistan has needed friends. So Saudi Arabia has always been a friend in need, which is why we value it so much.
Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan and Pakistan's Army Chief Qamar Javed Bajwa personally drove the Crown Prince to the capital Islamabad on his arrival on Sunday. The trip comes at the start of Crown Prince's tour of South Asia and China.
In news from Afghanistan, the Attorney General's office has reported that the allegations levelled against former members of the two Afghan election commissions are of a critical nature and that it has tasked a committee to tackle the allegations urgently. The move comes a week after all commissioners from the poll bodies were dismissed from their post after the country's president signed off on an amendment to the electoral law.
The Attorney General's Office, or AGO, on Sunday reported that the allegations levelled against former members of the Independent Election Commission, or IEC, and the Independent Electoral Complaints Commission, or IECC, are of a critical nature. The office said that it has tasked a committee to tackle the allegations urgently. Meanwhile, the IEC announced that the final result of the parliamentary elections for the remaining 15 provinces will not be announced until the appointment of new IEC commissioners.
زمانی که هیئت لازم ببینه تا شخصا از کمیشنرها و رؤسای کمیسیون‌های انتخاباتی هم تحقیق صورت بگیره و اونا را هم از ایشان تحقیقات لازمه را انجام خواهد دادن.
This comes a week after all commissioners from the two electoral bodies were dismissed from their post, including the two chiefs, after President Ashraf Ghani signed off an amendment to the electoral law. Ghani approved the amendment last week, which resulted in the instant dismissal of the commissioners, including IEC Chief Abdul Badi Syed and IECC Aziz Azizullah Aryayi. The move came amid ongoing criticism levelled against the poll body that the election held in October last year were allegedly riddled with fraud and mismanagement.
A mass wedding ceremony was organised on Sunday in India's western Surat city, wherein over 260 couples tied the nuptial knot. Scores of relatives and friends of the couples also raised over $70,000 for the families of the security personnel who lost their lives in a terror attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir province last week.
Around 262 couples tied the nuptial knot on Sunday at a mass wedding ceremony organised in India's western Surat city, where they also paid tribute to the security personnel killed in a deadly attack in northern Jammu and Kashmir province last week. The grand ceremony saw couples and guests donate money for the families of at least 40 slain personnel of Central Reserve Police Force who were killed in the deadly Pulwama attack. Over $70,000 were raised for the families during the ceremony. People also offered flowers and paid respects to the security personnel and remembered their bravery.
262 262 युगलों का समूह शादी हो रही है, लेकिन ये समूह उत्सव में आज एक राष्ट्रीय भावना भी भरी हुई है। हमने पूरा 5 बजे लग्न विधि शुरू करने से पहले वीर शहीदों को मौन रख के भावांजलि दी।
आज हमारी शादी है, उसका हमें खुशी है, लेकिन उससे ज़्यादा दुख है कि हमारे जवान शहीद हुए हैं। हमें उसकी फैमिली प्रति बहुत सहानुभूति है और उसकी फैमिली के लिए हम दुख व्यक्त करते हैं। और आज जो भी यहाँ पे जो पैसे जो शगुन मिलेगा वो हम उसकी फैमिली को अर्पण करेंगे।
Mass weddings are becoming very popular, especially among economically backward section of the Indian society, as these reduce the financial burden on the parents or guardians of the brides.
The first World Mal-khamb Championship was organised on Sunday in India's western Mumbai city, in which more than 150 gymnasts from 15 countries displayed their gymnastic skills. Mal-khamb is a traditional sport of India in which participants climb and pose on ropes and perform yogic positions.
The first World Mal-khamb Championship is organised on Sunday in India's financial capital Mumbai, in which gymnasts from around 15 countries display their gymnastic skills. In the championship, more than 150 participants twisted and turned on the wooden poles and ropes, which are the intrinsic elements of the ancient Indian sport. The competition was held in 2 categories, team and individual, wherein gymnasts from countries including Japan, US, Bahrain, Germany, Spain and Italy showcased their balancing abilities.
I'd never heard about it before I came to India, but I think that this one is less about competition, more about spreading the news about this sport. So I hope that it's spread more so there's a little more competition.
सारे देशों के जो मलखम्ब प्रेमी खिलाड़ी थे, उनको एक प्लेटफॉर्म में लाकर एक आदान प्रदान हो, कौन कैसे तरक्की कर रहा है, कौन कैसे अपने अपने जो प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं उसके ऊपर कैसे ओवरकम कर रहा है, ये उनको मालूम हो, इसके लिए हमने ये विश्व मलखम्ब प्रतियोगिता का आयोजन किया है।
Mal-khamb is a traditional sport of India in which participants climb and pose on ropes and perform yogic positions. There are different forms of the sport, including a fixed Mal-khamb, which is done on a pole that is set on the ground, the rope Mal-khamb, which is done on a rope, and the hanging Mal-khamb, which is a slight deflection from the fixed Mal-khamb and involves the balance of the body.
A group of holy men are performing one of the oldest forms of austerity during the ongoing Kumbh fair, the world's largest religious gathering in India's northern Prayagraj city. The rigorous ritual involves sitting in open grounds under the sun around burning cow dung cakes for about 4 months.
A group of holy men are performing one of the oldest forms of austerity during the ongoing Kumbh fair, the world's largest religious gathering in India's northern Prayagraj city. The style of worshipping known as Dhuni Puja involves holy men to sit in open grounds under the sun around burning cow dung cakes for 4 months. During the rigorous ritual, the seers chant hymns and pour oil or butter in the cow dung cakes. There are different levels of the ritual. The number of cow dung cakes increases with every level.
4 महीने जो बसंत पंचमी से शुरू होता है गंगा दशहरा तक 4 महीने है, गर्मी में साधना है, अग्नि सेवन इसको कहा जाता है। कुल मिला के 18 वर्षों की तपस्या है।
The Kumbh fair, which is more than 2000 years old, is a meeting point for Hindu seers, some of whom live in forests or Himalayan caves and come out only during this period. The fair is traditionally held every 3 years in one of 4 cities of Prayagraj, Haridwar, Ujjain and Nasik.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.